So apart from these few things we've talked about, okay, they are big deals. They are big deal. Okay. What other major challenges do you see in this space of agriculture in Africa?
The first thing that I would say is education.
Okay.
Find a lot of farmers are semi-illiterate or illiterate.
Mm.
And yes, and things are moving on very fast.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about precision agriculture. We're talking about the infrastructure. They are trying to improve the infrastructure so that there'll be network, internet, around where the farms are and all that. But the farmers itself, are they literate enough to manage? I was saying that education is very important. And so we have limited education of the farmers, and so it's a problem. Then, like I said earlier too, rural-urban migration is also a problem. And of course, that depends on the infrastructural development of the rural areas.
Yes.
If they have all the amenities and there is agriculture growing, there is employment.
They won't leave.
They won't leave. And beyond that, they would probably even earn more than what they're looking for in the city.
That's true.
And so it's a big problem in Africa, the rural-urban migration, the education. And then another thing, like I said earlier, is training. Because you cannot train someone who cannot interpret what you're saying.
Okay, that's true.
So it's one thing for you to know what they're saying, it's another thing for you to interpret. And beyond demonstration and all that, that interpretation, that training, it's useful to sustain what they are learned over time. And they can also pass it on to, other generation and other generation. Those are the things that has been done in other continents. Especially Asian. It has to be repeated here. Then another thing is we have to deal with the land tenure system. Okay. The lands available are quite small. It's difficult for a single person to just go and acquire so huge amount of land. And of course, that limitations will also bring about constraints in mechanization. And that's the reason why we have small holding in Africa so much in larger proportion. So if land tenures are being dealt with, then we might have more mechanization effectively taken off in Africa. So
indeed, this is a major issue we need to deal with.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So there are many others, but these are basically for me, the crucial ones, because it will also usher in more of the technologies, industrial revolution in agriculture.
Yes.
And of course, another problem, yes, this is also very important, access to credits. A lot of farmers do not have access to subsidies, credits that can really help them push into exactly what they want, and of course, reproduce and then enlarge and make it big.
Okay.
And so
now let me say this. Have our farmers today see farming as a business? Because before you can go out to start asking for credit, you need to see your
books
in farming as a business to make money.
Yes, you're right. And that's exactly some of the things that some of the groups I belong to are doing right now. Many farmers, I have not seen it as business. And so they just do things, they try to use family labor, and then there's really no proper document. There's no books. And so they cannot really say, this is what is going in, this is what is coming out. And so that's a big problem. Farmers do not have the proper records. And so increasingly, what we're doing now is to train farmers, like I said earlier on, so that they can actually say, this is exactly what is happening. This is our productivity level. This is the yield that we're expecting. This is what we are getting at the moment. This is what we should get. And then what are we going to do to achieve that? And how can we continue to maintain that? Because the fact is that some of these credit facilities are available, but the farmers are not properly aligned to access those credits. And so it's a big problem because people are trying to train farmers, trying to develop their books over a period of time. Because if you've not been doing that before, you still have to do it for at least a production season, a planting season. And so So young guys are doing that, and they are trying to help farmers and understand that business, the business of agriculture. But beyond that, increasingly now, there's also campaigns all around to include youth inclusion, to include youths into farming. And so those youths, they are easy to train because of their background. Some of them have gone to school, so they can understand the dynamics in the business of farming and agriculture as a whole, agribusiness as a whole. And of course, they can also address some of these issues ab initio, so that there won't be problems, on the long run.
Wow. Well, see, talking to you, yes, we have a lot of challenge, a lot, okay? But then with challenges, for me, means opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have a lot of challenges and opportunities that our growing population will be the younger generation, if they feed into these challenges and opportunities, we have the potential of exploding the continent.
Yes,
see,
and
I see
these opportunities.
Yeah, I see this everywhere, in agriculture, in education, in technology, everywhere.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Africa is still a virgin land, I must confess to you. And virgin, quote and unquote, is not just restricted to agriculture.
Yeah, everywhere.
There are many other areas to be developed. And so I always say that if you discover your niche, if you found out your niche, then dig deep. Then you become so unique in that niche, and the whole world will come to check on you.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're most welcome.